Did you know that 99% of deaths after age 75 stem from just a handful of causes that doctors say we can absolutely prevent? Many people assume that passing away in old age is just a natural part of life, an inevitable chapter that comes with time. But here's the truth that might shock you. Most of these risks are not your fate. They're health challenges you can control with small but meaningful changes to your daily habits. Picture this. You're savoring a peaceful morning, sipping coffee on your porch, or laughing with your grandkids at the park. Now imagine this. Those precious moments could last years longer if you know how to protect your health starting today. Doctors warn that after 75, just a few health threats account for nearly all deaths. But here's the good news. You don't have to live in fear. In this video, we're going to reveal the top 5 causes, silent dangers you might not even notice. And more importantly, we'll share doctor-backed strategies to help you overcome them. What you're about to hear isn't just dry statistics. These are stories of real lives, real families, and real choices that can help you live longer, healthier, and hold on to the independence you cherish. Want to know how to add more joyful years to your life? Stay with us until the end, because these solutions are not only simple, but could completely change how you think about aging. Let's dive in. Number 1, heart disease. Doctors warn that heart disease is the leading cause of death for those over 75. But here's the surprising part. You have more control over it than you might think. Your heart is a remarkable muscle, beating tirelessly to keep you alive. But like any muscle, it needs proper care to stay strong. When neglected over years, seemingly harmless habits can quietly weaken your heart, leading to consequences no one wants. Think about this. Have you ever felt unusually tired after a short walk or out of breath climbing a few stairs? Many chalk it up to just getting older, but doctors say these could be warning signs from your heart, signaling it's working harder than it should. One of the biggest culprits is high blood pressure. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, over 60% of people over 65 have high blood pressure, and that number climbs even higher after 75. The scary thing? High blood pressure often has no obvious symptoms. You might feel perfectly fine, but this silent strain is damaging your arteries, forcing your heart to work overtime. Left unchecked, it can lead to heart attacks or heart failure, conditions that send millions to the hospital each year. Another factor doctors emphasize is diet. Let's be honest. Do you often reach for fried foods, processed snacks like potato chips, or fast food from the drive-thru? These foods, while tasty, are loaded with salt and unhealthy fats that clog arteries and reduce blood flow. A study from the American Heart Association found that a high-sodium diet increases the risk of heart disease by up to 20% in older adults. But it's not just about avoiding bad foods. Doctors stress that your heart needs the right fuel to thrive. Foods like salmon rich in omega-3s, leafy greens, or walnuts aren't just delicious. They keep your arteries clear and your heart strong. Then there's something many overlook: lack of movement. Your heart isn't built to sit still all day. When you're inactive, blood flow slows, muscles weaken, and your heart misses the workout it needs to stay robust. But don't worry, you don't need to run a marathon. Doctors say just 15 to 20 minutes of brisk walking each day, or even gentle stretches from your chair, can significantly lower your risk of heart disease. A Harvard University study showed that older adults who stay lightly active have a 30% lower risk of heart attack compared to those who rarely move. So, how can you protect your heart? Doctors offer 3 simple yet powerful tips. First, check your blood pressure regularly. You can use an affordable home monitor or visit your clinic. If it's high, work with your doctor to manage it through medication or lifestyle changes. Second, switch to a heart-healthy diet. Add more greens, fruits, and whole grains to your plate. Cut back on salt and processed foods. Finally, get moving. Take a walk around your neighborhood, join a senior yoga class, or simply stand up and move for a few minutes every hour. These changes don't just keep your heart strong, they give you the energy to enjoy time with family and friends. Here's the truth. Heart disease isn't your destiny. Every small step you take today, a salad instead of fries, a short walk, or a blood pressure check, is a gift to your heart. Want your heart to keep beating strong for years to come? Number 2, falls and injuries. Just one fall can change your life forever, and doctors warn it's one of the biggest threats older adults often overlook. Imagine walking through your familiar living room, reaching for a book on a shelf, when suddenly a moment of dizziness or a slippery rug throws you off balance. In an instant, everything shifts. A fall isn't just a bruise. It can lead to a broken hip, a head injury, or even the start of a chain of events that steals your precious independence. According to the CDC, falls are the leading cause of injury-related deaths for those over 65, with over 3 million emergency room visits each year in the U.S. For those over 75, the numbers are even more alarming. A study from the National Institutes of Health, (NIH), found that 1 in 3 older adults falls at least once a year, and 50% of them never fully recover. A fall leading to a hip fracture can mean months in the hospital, loss of mobility, and a higher risk of infections or health decline. The heartbreaking reality is that many don't realize how vulnerable they are until it's too late. Why are falls such a major danger? Doctors explain that as we age, our balance, muscle strength, and reaction time naturally decline. These changes happen so gradually that you might not notice until you stumble. Think about the last time you felt a bit unsteady getting up from a chair. That's your body sending a warning. Another factor is medication side effects. Many common drugs, like those for blood pressure or anxiety, can cause dizziness or drowsiness, increasing fall risk. The American Pharmacists Association reports that over 20% of older adults take medications that could affect balance without even realizing it. What's worse, the fear of falling can create a vicious cycle. After a close call, many start avoiding movement. They skip walks, avoid stairs, or stay glued to their chair. But doctors warn, the less you move, the weaker your muscles get, and the more likely you are to fall. It's a dangerous cycle that can rob you of your freedom and joy. The good news? You can break this cycle with simple steps. Doctors offer clear advice. First, strengthen your balance and muscles. Exercises like standing on one leg, gentle yoga, or even a short walk around your backyard can work wonders. A University of California study found that older adults in balance training classes cut their fall risk by 40%. Second, check your home. Make sure lighting is bright, especially on stairs and hallways. Remove loose rugs, install grab bars where needed, and keep floors dry. Finally, talk to your doctor about your medications. If you feel dizzy when standing, it could be a sign to adjust your dosage or switch drugs. Imagine this, just a few small changes, like 10 minutes of exercise a day or adding a grab bar, can keep you confidently walking, enjoying time with your grandkids, or tending to your garden. Falls aren't inevitable. You have the power to stay steady and live independently longer. Number 3, respiratory diseases. Ever think a small cough or shortness of breath could land you in the hospital? Doctors warn that respiratory diseases are silently stealing the health and lives of millions over 75. Breathing is something we take for granted. But when your lungs weaken, even simple activities like walking to the mailbox or chatting with friends can feel like a battle. The troubling part? Many dismiss warning signs thinking they're just normal aging. Respiratory diseases, like chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, or pneumonia, are among the top causes of death in older adults. According to the American Lung Association, COPD affects over 16 million Americans, with those over 75 at the highest risk. COPD, which includes emphysema and chronic bronchitis, causes airways to become inflamed and narrow, making you feel like you can't get enough air. Symptoms like persistent coughing, wheezing, or shortness of breath are often ignored, but they're your lungs crying for help. Pneumonia is another major threat. What starts as a mild cold can quickly turn into a life-threatening infection, especially as our immune systems weaken with age. Another big risk factor is poor air quality. Years of exposure to dust, pollution, or even secondhand smoke can damage your lungs. Even indoors, things like mold, pet dander, or fireplace smoke can worsen breathing problems. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, notes that indoor air can be up to 5 times more polluted than outdoor air, posing a particular danger for those with weak lungs. If you live in a city or have a history of smoking, your lungs may already be carrying damage you don't realize. But doctors assure us you can protect your lungs. First, get vaccinated. Flu and pneumonia vaccines are powerful tools to reduce the risk of serious infections. The CDC says the pneumonia vaccine can cut hospitalization risk by 70% in older adults. Second, improve indoor air quality. An affordable air purifier, regular dusting, and avoiding smoke exposure can make a big difference. Finally, keep your lungs active. Exercises like slow walking, deep breathing, or even singing along to your favorite tunes can help your lungs expand and clear out mucus buildup. Picture this. You're strolling through a park, breathing in fresh air, or laughing with friends without gasping for breath. Those moments are within reach if you care for your lungs starting today. A Johns Hopkins University study found that older adults who stay lightly active have 25% better lung function than those who don't move much. Breathing shouldn't be a struggle. With simple steps like getting vaccinated, keeping your air clean, and staying active, you can keep your lungs strong and enjoy life to the fullest. Number 4, stroke. In a single moment, everything can change. Doctors reveal that 80% of strokes can be prevented if you take action today. Imagine you're enjoying breakfast with your family, laughing with your grandkids, when suddenly a severe headache or weakness on one side of your body hits. In an instant, your life could be altered forever. Stroke is one of the leading causes of death and disability for people over 75. But here's the astonishing truth. Most cases are entirely avoidable if you know the warning signs and take preventive steps. A stroke happens when blood flow to the brain is suddenly blocked by a clot or when a blood vessel in the brain bursts. When this occurs, brain cells begin to die within minutes due to lack of oxygen. According to the American Stroke Association, about 800,000 Americans suffer a stroke each year, with those over 75 making up the largest share of fatalities. Some strokes cause mild symptoms, like temporary confusion or weakness in an arm or leg. But more severe cases can lead to paralysis, loss of speech, or the need for lifelong care. The scariest part? Strokes often strike without clear warning, leaving many feeling helpless. But doctors assure us you have more control than you think. One of the biggest risk factors is high blood pressure, often called the silent killer, because it rarely shows obvious symptoms. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, over 70% of people over 75 have high blood pressure, and if left unmanaged, it weakens blood vessels, making them prone to blockages or ruptures. When was the last time you checked your blood pressure? Do you know your numbers? If not, here's a reminder from doctors. High blood pressure doesn't wait for you to notice it. Another factor is atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat that affects millions of older adults. Atrial fibrillation causes blood to pool in the heart, forming clots that can travel to the brain and trigger a stroke in seconds. A Stanford University study found that atrial fibrillation increases stroke risk fivefold in older adults. Another risk many overlook is lifestyle. A diet heavy in processed foods, like crackers or fast food, combined with a lack of physical activity, makes blood thicker and circulation sluggish. Think back. Do you often eat salty snacks like potato chips or sausages? These foods can raise your blood pressure and strain your circulatory system. Doctors also warn about transient ischemic attacks, or mini strokes. These are early warning signs like blurred vision, temporary confusion, or weakness in a limb for a few minutes. Many dismiss these because they pass quickly, but they're your body's cry for help. A study from the American Heart Association shows that 20% of people who experience a TIA will have a major stroke within a year if untreated. So what can you do to protect yourself? Doctors offer practical advice. First, check your blood pressure regularly. A home monitor costs as little as $20 and could save your life. If it's high, work with your doctor to find solutions, from medication to lifestyle changes. Second, switch to a brain-healthy diet. Add leafy greens like spinach, fruits like blueberries, and omega-3 rich foods like salmon. Cutting back on salt and processed foods can reduce stroke risk by up to 25%, according to a Harvard University study. Third, stay active. Just 20 minutes of brisk walking daily or joining a community exercise class can improve circulation and lower the risk of blood clots. Finally, if you experience TIA symptoms like blurred vision, trouble speaking, or weakness, call your doctor immediately. Acting fast can mean the difference between preventing a stroke and facing devastating consequences. Picture yourself enjoying an afternoon of golf with friends or telling stories to your grandkids without worrying about a sudden stroke. Doctors emphasize that 80% of strokes can be prevented with small lifestyle changes. You have the power to shape your future, and the best time to start is now. Number 5, cognitive decline. Losing your memory isn't an inevitable part of aging. Doctors say you can keep your mind sharp longer with simple habits. One of the greatest fears as we age is losing precious memories, like the names of loved ones, the stories you've shared, or the ability to care for yourself. Dementia and Alzheimer's don't just affect memory, they can lead to serious consequences, from accidents at home to complete loss of independence. But here's the good news. You can slow this process and keep your mind sharper than you ever thought possible. Cognitive decline often starts with small signs, like forgetting an old friend's name or misplacing your car keys. Many assume this is just normal aging, but doctors warn these could be your brain's call for help. According to the Alzheimer's Association, over 6 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's, with numbers soaring among those over 75. As memory and reasoning fade, managing daily life becomes harder. You might forget to take your blood pressure medication, skip balanced meals, or miss symptoms of other health issues. A University of California study found that older adults with dementia are twice as likely to be hospitalized for issues like dehydration or infections. One of the biggest risks of cognitive decline is accidents. Imagine forgetting to turn off the stove after cooking, leaving the door open at night, or wandering outside without knowing your way back. These situations aren't just dangerous. They can lead to losing the ability to live independently. According to the National Institutes of Health, NIH, over 30% of older adults with dementia experience household accidents each year, and many end up in nursing homes. Social isolation is another factor that speeds up cognitive decline. When you rarely connect with friends or family, your brain misses the stimulation it needs to stay sharp. A University of Chicago study found that older adults who live in isolation have double the risk of developing Alzheimer's compared to those who stay socially connected. But doctors assure us you can protect your brain. First, keep your mind active. Activities like reading books, solving crossword puzzles, or learning a new skill, like playing the guitar or painting, can strengthen neural connections. A Johns Hopkins University study showed that older adults who regularly engage in mental activities cut their risk of cognitive decline by 50%. Second, exercise isn't just good for your body, it's fantastic for your brain. Walking 30 minutes a day or joining a community yoga class boosts blood flow to the brain, improving memory and focus. Third, stay socially connected. Join a book club, call a friend, or volunteer at a local charity to keep your brain engaged and reduce isolation risks. Finally, don't overlook the role of diet. Foods rich in omega-3s, like salmon, antioxidants, like blueberries, and vitamins, like spinach, protect brain cells from inflammation and damage. A Harvard University study found that the Mediterranean diet, full of vegetables, fruits, and nuts, can reduce Alzheimer's risk by 35%. On the flip side, too much sugar and processed foods increase brain inflammation, speeding up decline. Think about the moments you want to cherish, telling stories to your grandkids, playing chess with friends, or simply going to the store on your own. Simple habits like reading, walking, and eating well can keep your mind sharp and your life vibrant. Want your brain to stay strong for years to come? Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've uncovered. 5 major causes, heart disease, falls, respiratory diseases, stroke, and cognitive decline, are responsible for nearly all deaths after age 75. But here's the most important thing doctors want you to know. These are not your destiny. You have the power to change the course of your health, to live longer, healthier, and to cherish precious moments with family and friends. Think about it. Every small choice you make today, a meal packed with greens, a short walk, a blood pressure check, or a call to a friend, is a step toward a fuller life. Doctors stress that these changes don't have to be drastic. Just 15 minutes of movement a day, a few tweaks to your home, or a quick chat with your doctor about your medications can make a huge difference. According to the American Geriatric Society, older adults who take early preventive steps can extend their lifespan by an average of 5 to 10 years while maintaining independence and quality of life. No one likes to think about aging, but ignoring these risks doesn't make them go away. Instead, turn awareness into power. You don't have to live in fear of heart disease, falls, or memory loss. You can focus on what truly matters, strolling through the park, playing with your grandkids, or simply enjoying the freedom to do what you love. Your health is your greatest asset at this stage of life, and every day is a chance to nurture it. We want to hear from you. In the comments, please share. What did you learn from this video, and how do you plan to apply it to your life? Maybe it's walking more, checking your blood pressure, or trying a brain-healthy recipe. Your stories inspire us. Separately, if you have any suggestions to help us improve our future videos, let us know in the comments. Your feedback helps us create better content for our community. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, share it with loved ones, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video. Thank you for being here, and we can't wait to see you in the next one.